Welcome to Cinema Sound Off. I am your pudgy host, Jake. This is the only podcast where we do not harm animals. With me, as always, is my Batman, Tyler.
Hey.
I meant to say Robin in my Batgirl, but it didn't come out wrong.
I'm Batman now.
He's my Batman.
You said it on air. It's how it is.
So, real quick recap. Can't speak tonight. We watched Side Effects last week. I liked it, and you guys were kind of iffy about it. Okay, so now this week we watched A Good Day to Die Hard, a movie that Seb is going to go crazy for.
Well, I wouldn't say go crazy, but I'm fond of it.
You're fond of it, okay. And let's start out with opening thoughts. Tyler, what do you think about A Good Day to Die Hard?
It was a bad day to die hard. It was what I thought it was going to be for a Bruce Willis movie. Die Hard 1 and 2 were good. I really like Die Hard 1. It's almost like, as they kept going on, they said, screw the plot, let's just have Bruce Willis shoot things. Because I couldn't pick up on the plot. Like, it was hard. Like, not spoiler
kind of
alert or
daddy
anything.
Issues.
Yeah, but, like, the first car chase scene is about, like, 30 minutes long, it seems like.
And they're just blowing through plot points.
Yeah, like, there's no plot to be found. But the action was decent. And I like Bruce Willis.
Once again, the movie is A Good Day to Die Hard, running at an hour and 36 minutes. Bruce Willis obviously stars in it.
John McClane.
They're synonymous.
Motherfucker.
We should get out our yippee-ki-yay motherfuckers right now.
I just did.
Seb?
Yippee-ki-yay.
Right you up.
Okay, Seb, what'd you think?
I liked it. I mean, I know I'm going to get hate for this, but I haven't seen the first three. I've only seen...
What?
Go home.
See, I told you.
We're watching...
I've only seen Live Free or Die Hard and this one. I liked them. I like the location. I like Russia.
Really?
I enjoyed the Russia thing.
I kind of feel like Russia was played out. Like, the whole Cold War thing and, like, all those movies, like, Russia is so bad. Russia is in the
Cold War did end, like, what, 30 years ago?
I know, like, we're still on the whole, like, Russia thing. Like, shouldn't we be killing, like Iranians now or something? Like, I don't know.
Alright, well, ratio stereotype Tyler over here.
I liked seeing Russia, to be honest, man. I haven't seen Russia in a movie in a while. And
yeah, I guess.
Since James Bond. Also, I like how they went to Chernobyl. That's really cool. I like how they went there.
Spoiler alert.
Not really.
And that somehow fits in with the whole Russia being overplayed theme, yes.
Well, Chernobyl's in Ukraine.
So Tyler, you mentioned that the plot was hard to pick up on.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to explain the plot? Explain the plot.
Explain the plot. It's bad for you.
They didn't really go in depth, like, in the storyline in the beginning. It didn't really explain a lot.
Like,
so
in the beginning, dude, like, to be honest, I was like, oh my god, this movie's gonna fucking suck. Because, like, the guy comes in and gives John McClane the information about his son. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then...
This is gonna be horrible.
Like, here, your son is in Russia for some reason, and John McClane's like, okay, I'll go find him. And then he finds him within, like, 5 minutes of being in Russia. He, like, literally runs him over with a car. And it's from there, it's like, what's going on?
And I feel like that's something with the genre, which would be suspense and action. Yeah. But then there's just, like, completely throwing out the plot points for the sake of...
I mean, I don't know when, like, action movies just started saying, you know, screw having a plot. Like, I thought I saw The Last Stand not that long ago, and I thought that had a decent plot. And, like, going back to Die Hard 1, like, the plot in that movie was really good. Like, I really liked that movie. It was, like, different and cool, and...
It was different and cool. That's what I like about my action movies, man.
Yeah, I feel like A Good Day to Die Hard kind of falls into the, like, you know, kind of new era, generic-y Jason Statham, The Rock action movies, where it's kind of just bland and falls kind of flat for me.
And then explosions and car chases and guns
like,
and
it'll
girls.
have its cool moments, but most of it's just, like...
I think, in my opinion, it's kind of hard to put a good storyline or plot into just a single movie, specifically if it's an action. Let me finish. I mean, if it's a suspense like Shutter Island, that movie blows your mind, right? And there's, like, other movies that, like, you know, if it's suspense or something like that, then it's like they can do that in a movie, but it's kind of hard to do that in an action when you've got all the action to work around, I think. So
I'll have to show you some action movies.
Yeah, well, you have to watch Die Hard 1.
Die Hard 1 is, like, the perfect blend between, like, a good, like, action movie and a drama and sprinkles in comedy. It's a masterpiece.
Speaking of that, they had some comedy in this one that I thought was pretty good.
It was just kind of like
I felt like it was playing with, like, the Bruce Willis movie persona as comedy.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of like you can't have feelings. If you're a man, if you have feelings, you're a pussy. Like, I felt like that's what the movie was. Like, it was just them being men and masculine.
And then there were, like, the random daddy issue moments, which were kind of like, I love you, son.
Did you call me dad? No. Like, we can't talk about our feelings. That's gay.
I think that's supposed to tie into the comedy of it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the acting. We have Bruce Willis, who now, in my point of view, is an old man. I think he's
57. I looked it up today.
57, okay.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he still pulled off this movie, in my opinion, but he really did carry the entire movie. And I heard with, like, Live Free or Die Hard, he was basically the writer and director. Everything that happened had to go through him.
I kind of felt like in this movie they were trying to like put more of the like work on his son. I don't know the actor's name, but it kind of seemed like Bruce Willis was kind of like his co-pilot, and the movie more centered around his son and what he was doing.
And like the first 4 Die Hards rest more on John McClane, Bruce Willis, going around kicking ass.
So I feel like he's like passing the torch, maybe.
All right, what about special effects? I mean, this is a very special effects heavy movie.
Yeah.
Unlike the first
I thought they were good.
Die Hard.
Yeah, I felt like they were okay, but like that slow motion part at the end where they jump through a window, I felt like that was kind of cheesy looking. I don't know if
It looked a little cheesy to me too, bro.
Yeah.
It was a little off, but it still came out good.
Yeah, like it doesn't ruin the movie or anything.
There were some good, like, actual, like, practical special effects, but then they mixed it in with some CG and...
Just so you know, near like the first 30 minutes of the movie, there's like a Mercedes of Death scene where he's just kind of like destroying all the cars on below him. You'll know what we're talking about.
And then, like going back to the window scene, like, when I saw that happening, I thought, here comes CGI Bruce Willis.
That's true.
That's kind of what I thought watching the previews for this movie, Here Comes CGI Bruce Willis, but I didn't really get that with this movie. Okay, does it remind you of anything? Is this movie too similar? I mean, there was obvious Die Hard homage.
It reminds me of the Chernobyl Diaries because they go to Chernobyl.
Relevance.
That's about it. It doesn't seem to tie in with the other ones with me, but that's because I've only seen the fourth one.
Well, I've seen the first 3 Die Hards, and I haven't seen the fourth one, but it didn't really feel Die Hardy. But I think Die Hard stopped feeling Die Hardy after Die Hard 2.
Jeff Hardy.
Die Hardies.
The Die Hardys, yes.
I haven't seen all 4. I feel the same way. Like 3 was kind of Die Hard.
Yeah,
I mean, how much does this guy have to go through? And we even played with this persona. We've been playing with this since the second one. How many times is this going to happen to us, John?
I know, but, like, the jokes are kind of used up. Like, in the second movie, they're like, do you find trouble or does it find you? And he's like, lol, IDK. And this happens in this one, too.
Let me ask you, then, let me ask you guys this. If that was just a movie by itself, not part of the Die Hard series, if it was, like, its own movie, do you think you would have liked it more? Like,
I think I would have liked it less because, like, what would it be then? It would just be like generic action movie number 5.
That's true. It's kind of like the selling point that it's Die Hard, and you know what you're gonna get. It's Die Hard.
You're gonna get John McClane kicking people's ass.
So it's what you expected.
Yes.
Jake, continue.
That was it, man. All right, is this something that parents can take their kids to? Is this movie appropriate?
If you're a bad parent.
If you're a bad parent. It's like, well, my son loves explosions.
It had a lot of action. There wasn't, like, detailed violence at all.
Yeah.
Really. So, and I... Like,
it's not like Saving Private Ryan. You're like, holy crap, what did I just watch? I'm feeling things. You're like, yeah, he's kicking ass because he's Bruce Willis.
I would say, I mean, if you're like that cool, badass parent, you take it to see it.
Okay, let's do our closing thoughts and let's give this movie a rating. So let's start with Tyler.
I'll give it a 5 because
5.
It didn't really have a plot. It tried really hard, but it kind of fell flat, and it just kind of didn't know what it was doing, I felt like. And towards the end, it got a little bit better, but still, I felt like it was lacking something.
Right on. Sebastian?
I think that when you're watching an action movie, I don't really expect much of a plot in the first place. I know they can have it, but I don't expect it. Like, most action movies that I have seen are just kind of like based on action and not a storyline. So my standards weren't really that high for a plot anyways. So, you know, when I watch an action, I'm impressed by, like, good action, special effects, all that crap. So based off of that, it didn't have the best storyline, even though there was a pretty good little twist in there, I thought. I'd probably give it like 7.8 out of 10.
7.8. Okay.
Getting all technical now.
It's a borderline 8 out of 10.
Borderline 8 out of 10. Okay. Closing, was our movie of the week, A Good Day to Die Hard. I mean, I feel like if you like Fast 5, if you like The Expendables, I'll even throw Taken in there. If you like those 3 movies, you'll like this movie. If you like Die Hard 1, you may or may not like this movie. If your idea of a good movie is like La Dolce Vita and The 400 Blows, you're probably not going to enjoy this movie. Cinema Sound-Offs.
Wait. What did you give the movie? You never gave the movie a rating.
Out of 10.
I think I'm gonna... It's either a 6 or a 7. 6 or 7. Well, settle at 6.5. You still get some good action. Bruce Willis is still kicking ass. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.